and someone else just said that too. Thanks, guys. Okay, we are recording now. Basically, to catch up the recording, we are talking about scaling back on our invites because as we know, we can teach you guys how to send invites. We can teach you what to say, teach you all the things, but if you aren't really bringing in the rest of the pieces for a successful invite, it's not gonna work. And what I just said before I started recording was I can teach my dad how to send invites, but no one's gonna say yes to him unless these other parts are moving. So I wanna start talking about kind of your storefront and how putting yourself out there on Instagram and why it's important. So here's the thing. Again, I know it can feel confusing to be like, I don't know, like why does my Instagram matter? Why do having good pictures matter? All of that. But I want you to think about if you were gonna go book a hotel room and you go to 2 different websites. One website looks good when you go to it. It has a bunch of pictures, it's very clear, you understand what you're getting, you understand the amenities, you understand kind of the value of the hotel. Then you go to the other website and there's like some like weird blurry photo and you're not really sure where it's located or what it offers. Does it have a coffee bar or a breakfast buffet or a gym? I don't really get it. Which hotel, even if they're the same price, which hotel are you gonna go with? You're gonna go with the one that attracted you in, added value, kind of gave you some type of an idea of, that looks like somewhere I'd wanna stay. And that's what we're doing with our Instagram profiles, okay? If we want eyes on our page, if we want people to pay attention to what we're saying and be engaged with what we're doing, they have to feel like we're gonna give them some type of value, right? So what I do honestly regularly, and this isn't meant to be weird, but probably like once a day, I take a quick inventory of my own Instagram. I go to my profile and I look at it from the lens of, if I was a brand new girl on my page and I was getting that first impression, what am I representing? What photos are they seeing? If they read some of my content, what content are they reading? If they look at my stories, what type of person are they seeing from me? And if there's only one story or there's not really any photos that like tell them what I do, they're gonna be left feeling kind of confused, like, why does this girl wanna be my friend? I don't get it. And I think about like sometimes when older people use Facebook and you get like that weird Facebook like friend request from like Susie Blake and she has like a flower as her profile picture and it's like no cover photo and you're kind of like, wait, what? Like Susie Blake, we don't have any mutual friends. Like, no, I'm not gonna like be your friend. But what happens when you get the friend request from the girl and she's like happy in her profile picture, her cover photo looks fun, you see that she has like some good content and you're not sure what she does and you're not sure why you're into her, but you are. And you're like, I don't know, but she seems like I'm attracted to her and she seems like she could add some value to my life, whether that's through humor or entertainment or knowledge or fitness or mindset or any of these different things. They're gonna be attracted to us for all different reasons, but what's that 10-second first impression that they're getting from us? Okay, so we really want to think about that as we go through that. And why this is important, again, is we're gonna talk about this down the road, but when we're building up a following, if we're feeling frustrated, like, hey, why are people not following me back? Why are people not, getting their eyes, can you stop? Oh, sorry. Andy's sitting right next to me. I thought he was making weird noises. So when people come to our page, if they're not feeling like we have value to offer them, they're not gonna follow us back. They're not gonna be engaged in our content, okay? So just keep that in mind if you're feeling frustrated with the process, okay? Now the other thing too that I hear from coaches when they're kind of like figuring out their flow and figuring out what they wanna put on Instagram is they get worried about repetitiveness, about am I gonna be repetitive if I post a workout clip every single morning? Am I gonna get repetitive if I tell my coach story once a week or my business story once a week? Here's the thing, repetitive works in your favor for 2 different reasons. One, if the goal is to get new eyes on your page every single day, the thing is, if you only post one workout clip on a Monday, the girl that's on your page on Wednesday isn't gonna see that workout clip. It's gone. It disappeared 24 hours ago. So you need that repetitiveness so those new people are actually seeing it for the very first time, okay? Now the second part is, when I think about repetitiveness, the first thing that came to mind was Geico, right? I've never been sitting on my couch and a Geico commercial pops up and I'm like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do on 3 p.m. on a Tuesday? I'm gonna go buy Geico. No, but when I got my car and I needed car insurance, you know what the first company I thought of? Geico. I don't even have Geico and I thought of them when I thought of this example, right? That's the power of repetitiveness. So whether you're doing it for the girl that's on your page for the first time, or you're doing it for the girl who, when she's ready and when it's her time to get fit and healthy, you're the person she thinks of. She's not going to think of the one random girl that posted one workout clip one time. She's going to think of the girl that every single morning she looks at her phone and she's having a dance party with her Energize, right? So repetitiveness works in your favor. So first and foremost, as we think about, in order to have a successful invite, first and foremost, you have to have an attractive storefront. We're an online business. This is the store people are walking into and deciding if we're a brand or a style or a person or a company, whatever, that they want to associate with, okay? Does this make sense so far? Feeling good? Okay, let's move into now the next process. So the second part of obviously getting to the invite is we have to build up an engaged following. And we hear the question a lot, where do I find new people to follow? I will tell you for a fact, when we moved over to Instagram, when I first started building, pretty much everything was Facebook. Instagram was kind of like the bonus. And now obviously that's turned around a little bit. I genuinely, to my core, thought that it would be easier because I was like, this is good. I just got to put out good content, throw on a few hashtags, and everyone's going to come my way and follow me. Sorry, spoiler alert, that doesn't happen. We have to go out and follow people first. But here's the thing. A big theme of this call is not going to be about doing more or working harder. It's really going to be about working smarter, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple tips around how to build a faster and bigger following in a really organic way, but that doesn't require more hours or more time from you. In fact, it's probably going to require a lot less time, and you're going to be able to do more. So here's the thing. When I'm going to go out and follow people, there's a couple different ways you can do it. Yes, one of the more obvious ones is to search through hashtags, right? But personally, I think that hashtags are kind of dead from a finding new people standpoint, because here's the thing. I know every time I post, I'm including all of the most popular hashtags, and it's a great way for my post to get out there and get exposure. But when I search the same hashtag that I'm using, don't you think that every other coach is doing the same thing, or every other industry professional, or every other network marketer? All of us know all the good hashtags. So what happens is if you only have a 20-minute window to do all of your follows, you are spending so much time filtering through other coaches and other network marketers and other industry professionals. And you end up walking away with like 2 or 3 new followers or people that you're following. And then you're frustrated that you don't have a bigger engagement, but you spent 20 minutes doing it, but you didn't have a good return on that time. You didn't have a good return on the investment of the time spent, okay? So another option here is to go to actual people's pages, whether that's, you hear, celebrities or clothing brands or companies, things like that you like. But here's the thing with that too. Yes, Taylor Swift, we love her. We are like Team T Swift on Team Fit Foundation, right? But Taylor Swift is too big to be one person's niche, right? My niche might like Taylor Swift, but somebody totally different than my niche is also liking Taylor Swift. And also, Taylor Swift is international, right? There's also a lot of guys, no offense to dudes on this call, but a lot of guys that follow Taylor Swift. So what happens again? You're on Taylor Swift's page. Yes, she's your girl, but she's also a lot of other people's girl. And you're still spending so much time filtering through profiles that aren't eligible coaches or challengers. So again, you're not using your time smartly. You're working hard, but not smart in that sense, in my opinion. So what I like to do is I actually like to find a little bit more niche down profiles. So things that are really specific to your chapter of life. For example, if you're a mom, maybe you follow like a mommy blogger that has like 20,000 followers or 50,000 followers, and she's really crafty and does a bunch of like healthy meals and DIY stuff, and you're really into that. Chances are other moms with kids your kids' ages is the people that are following this other mommy blogger. She is going to be a really great place to look. You're already taking the giant niche and you're filtering it in, because only certain types of people are going to follow DIY mommy blogger with her healthy homemade meals, right? Your people, you mommy that's making homemade meals. Same thing if you're getting married. Maybe you're finding a wedding designer you like, or a venue that you like, or The Knot is another good one. Enneagram is another big one, but not just Enneagram. Find your Enneagram. Or if you're super strategic, go to like Enneagram 3, because those girls are super competitive and they make great coaches. No, Sorry, Kinsley. No, but be really strategic with your niche, right? Don't go so big that you're trying to spend time filtering through. I will tell you, a lot of my girlfriends, I'm in that kind of like age group right now where a lot of people are getting married, or I'm a bridesmaid, or all of these different things. So the Knot is a great place. That's a place that I can go and find a lot of girls that are probably in my circle. Now, but here's how I'm gonna take it an even step further. And 1 second here. Annie, do you mind closing that blind? It's getting really bright in here. So one thing that I would recommend doing to even work even smarter is don't only look at who's following those pages, but what I actually like to do is look at kind of one of their first 6 photos, which means the account probably posted sometime in the last week. Look at one of those 6 photos, click on that photo and see who's liked it. And here's why. Oh, actually it was that one. Sorry guys, we're getting all distracted. The sun is like blinding me right now. Woo, that's better. Okay, hey lighting. So I look at the people who liked that photo, because here's the thing. If somebody liked a photo that was posted in the last week, chances are they're an actively engaged Instagram user, which now has taken the multi-millions or thousands of followers that follow the Knot, brings it down to 2,200 people. And those 2,200 girls are very clearly paying attention to what the Knot posts, right? So those girls are even more narrowed in on my niche. Now, what I can do is I'm not spending any time filtering. Everyone's already filtered for me. Now, when I spend 10 minutes following people, I'm following a lot more people because a lot of those counts are ready to go. So here's the next point kind of on that. When it comes to following new people, I do hear from coaches a lot that they spend like 5 minutes deciding if they're gonna follow a profile. And what they do is they look at the profile and they're like, well, I'm gonna look at these photos and read all her captions and comment on a couple things, and then I'm gonna decide if I like her or not. No, don't do that. Here's why. Think of when you're going out and following new people, think of it like the dating app. And I know I've talked about this before, but if you're new, I'm gonna use it again. So circa 2013, I had Tinder. Nobody judged me. Back then, A, I was definitely single, but 2, it was at the time the only dating app, and it was still cool. It wasn't what it is now. But I'm assuming all dating apps are still very similar. And think about how you use a dating app. You're looking at it and you do a 10-second scan. You take a look at the photo, you read his stats or her stats, you decide if it's somebody you're interested in, and you are just yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes, no, right? Like you aren't emotionally invested at all because you don't know 3 profiles later, you don't even remember who you swiped on. There's no attachment there. It's not like you're sitting there being like, okay, I'm gonna find 5 people and 5 people only that I'm definitely gonna marry, even though I don't even know if they're gonna match with me yet, right? Like no way. Same thing with following people on Instagram. We've already niched it down. You don't need to spend any more time trying to decide if that girl is your perfect new best friend because you don't even know if she's gonna like you back. Here is the truth. When you go follow people, about 10 to 20% of people are going to follow you back. That is just the reality of the situation. That percentage goes down when you don't have an attractive storefront, AKA when they go to your profile and they're like, I'm really confused. And that percentage is gonna go up when they go to your profile and they're like, oh, I don't know why, but I like her. And they follow you back. But still, best case scenario, we're looking at 20%. So right off the bat, if you're the girl right now that's like, I follow 20 new people a week and I'm frustrated, well, yeah, because like a half of a person is following you back every week. That's not enough momentum to get you where you're wanting to go. It's not fun to get like 3/4 of a person following you back every week, right? But here's the thing. When I'm on there and I pull up those 2,200 people that liked the most recent like bridesmaid photo, and I'm going through and I'm spending 5 to 10 seconds, 5 seconds on a private profile, 10 seconds on a public profile. Literally what I'm looking at is I look at their bubble. Are they like a human, a girl ideally? And then I'm doing a quick scan of their stats. Do they look legit? AKA, does she seem like she posts? Does she follow people? Do people follow her back? If they have like 2 posts, probably not interested. If they're one of those weird accounts that has like 40,000 followers, but they follow like 1 person and have 2 posts, probably not a real account. But if it looks legit, you know how to use Instagram. We're all social media users. If it looks legit, I follow and I follow and I follow and follow. And if it's public, the only added 5 seconds there is because I'm clicking on 3 of their photos and liking those 3 photos. And that's it. So here's where working smarter, not harder, truly comes into play. If it takes me 10 seconds to follow one person, then logistically, I can follow 6 people per minute, which means I can follow 60 people in 10 minutes, right? So if you and I are sitting next to each other, and let's say our thumbs get sore and we don't actually follow 60, you can still probably get to like a 40 to 60 window in that 10-minute span of time. So if you and me are sitting next to each other, yes, we all have the same 24 hours in a day and we all have the same amount of time as Beyonce, you can make more time in your day to do the other things you want to do. We're sitting next to each other and the goal is to follow 40 people and it takes me 10 minutes, but it takes you an hour because you're spending 5 minutes per person. Well, I've just created 50 extra minutes in my day. We end up at the same outcome. It took me 10 minutes and you 60, right? And the other thing here is if you follow 40 new people a day, we'll just even call it safe there, 40 people, that's 200 new people a week. That's probably more than some of you are doing in a month. And of those 200 people, if that return is still 20 people back to you, maybe 20 to 40 people, that is 20 to 40 new people on your page. Also more people than some of you are getting in a month. Not because you're doing more work, you're just working smarter, okay? So we can start building up this momentum a lot faster. Good question, Brittany. I'll answer that in 1 second. She asked if it's okay if we're following more people that are following us. And I will actually get to that because I think there's a strategy there too. But I think sometimes we panic and we get in our head about, I don't have time to follow 40 new people a day. You don't have 10 minutes. I think it takes my boyfriend longer than that in the bathroom sometimes. Like, people have time to do this. If you run to your car, you're pumping gas. I mean, you have time. And if you're just working smart, you can squeeze that activity in. Now, really quick and I'll answer the question still, but before we move on, does this make sense so far on how we can actually do a lot more from a following aspect with just being a little bit smarter with it? Cool. Okay. So what I would say next is, to help me kind of keep track of all of this, is I personally use the app Followers. Okay. And I'll show you a screenshot of it in a second. It is kind of the cool tool right now. I never think it's smart to completely rely 100% on a third-party tool, but it's working right now. And if in 6 months it goes away, we'll all adapt. We're smart humans. We'll figure something else out. But what's nice about Followers is there's kind of 4 key data points that it will give you. Your new followers, the people that have unfollowed you, and then people that you're following that are not following you back, and vice versa, people that are following you that you're not following back. What I like to do to answer Brittany's question about, is it okay if we're following more people that are following us? I personally don't like to keep following that many people, especially if they're not following me back. I don't want my newsfeed clogged with a bunch of girls who aren't even paying attention to my page. So what I do with that Followers app is I can look at who are the people I'm following that are not following me back. And every couple days, I just do a cleanse of that and just unfollow a bunch of those girls, right? So you can kind of manage that so that you don't get clogged up with a bunch of people, because following 200 new people, even 100 new people a week, that's going to rack up pretty quickly, especially with an only 20% return. But you can cleanse kind of your following so that you are still staying up to date. But the big thing here is the new followers. And I'm actually going to share my screen again with you guys so you can see kind of a snapshot of what this looks like. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is what the app Followers looks like. Can you guys see that okay? Looks good. Okay, so the new follower or followers I'm following, and the new follower is 19. Okay, that number 19 is what I want to pay attention to. Now, if I go down to the next screenshot, this is just a screenshot from yesterday, so don't pay attention to any of their names, be ethical. But the gray ones here, the follow, those are the people that are newly following me that I'm not following back. And I can look through those, I can decide, see if I want to follow them. But these green ones, the following, those are people that I followed that decided to follow me back. These are the only people I care, not only people, but the people in this whole following process that I care about. And I hear the question, I'm gonna stop sharing again really quickly. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. Hold on, not as adept as Zoom. Okay, so the reason why is I hear the question often, when I go follow new people, do I send them an invite right away? Do I hey girl them even if they're not following me back? All of that? No. So to go back to like the whole dating app example, if you swiped on someone, swiped yes, are you going to then message him and be like, hey, I just said yes to you and I just want you to know I really like you and we should totally go on a date sometime? Maybe you would, but probably not, because you're going like this left and right, and it's not until you get that match back where you're like, oh, Brad, how you doing? Okay, we both agreed to this. Now we can start a conversation with Brad. I think someone's marrying Brad on here. But we can start that conversation once they've agreed to it, right? That's kind of what that's about. We're saying we're interested. They're saying they're interested. Now we can have a conversation. So it's only that match. Yes, Adrian. It's only that match of the people that we want to engage with, because they have told us by following us back that they want to engage with us too. And again, those numbers are going to go up the more attractive your profile looks when they come to your page and they're deciding, does this girl seem like somebody I want to be friends with? Okay. So they go into my tracker as essentially a lead. Now, I was going to show you guys my tracker, but we already have a training on that. So I use the tracker Google Streak. If you want to know how to download it, it's literally in the title, Google Streak, Google it, and then watch my training. So, but Google Streak is really awesome. It just connects to your Gmail. It's a really easy way to kind of keep track of everyone and kind of keep people in the process that they're at. But these new people, I put them into the lead section. Now, about 10 to 20 minutes a day, just depending on where I'm at, I spend time engaging with my leads or my actively engaged followers. Now, I use the word engage because I personally don't do hey girls anymore. Back in the day, depending on how long you've been here, we really trained on this whole send this message that's something along the lines of, hey girl, oh my gosh, love your profile. Where are you from? How you been? What's your dog's name? And we asked a bunch of questions. I don't personally do that anymore, and I'm gonna tell you guys why in a second. But what I do is when I'm spending my 10 minutes engaging with my new leads, what I'm doing is I'm going to their profiles, I'm liking more of their photos, I'm commenting on their photos, and I'm replying to their stories. Now, if I do really like a girl and I find myself and I'm like, yes, girl, yes, girl, yes, girl, I'm liking all her photos and I comment on a bunch, and I'm like, you're so cute, I love your outfit. And then I realize, oh my God, this girl is gonna open her Instagram and have like 97 notifications and they're all from me. I will send her a message, and you can do this to everyone if it makes you feel better. I do send her a message of something like, hey gorgeous, don't mind me just blowing you up with notifications. I love your profile, you're super cute, excited to connect. Super simple. I'm just kind of like saying hey, explaining why I just liked all of her profile, or, hey, don't mind me just like obsessing over you. I can't wait to follow you, or something like that. You can totally do that just to put even more personality behind kind of the reason why you're liking all of her photos all of a sudden. But you don't need to start asking follow-up questions. And there's a couple different reasons with this. One, I think asking the questions is kind of what was setting the tone that girls were feeling salesy. They were feeling hesitant towards asking because they knew, well, I'm supposed to be coming from a place of like, gratitude and like excitement and like being a people person. But I also know I'm only asking this girl a question because it's part of the process towards asking her the question, having the conversation, and then eventually trying to like invite her and sell her a challenge pack and blah, blah, blah. So people were stopping before they even had a chance to get to know someone because they knew asking those questions, they had an alternative motive. And I think that's what was really stopping people. So instead, when I'm going into this, my only goal is to engage with the girls that are newly following me. I basically want to say thank you. I want to get to know them. I'm connected to them. So I'm really just wanting to get to know them. Now, when I like their stuff and I reply to their stories, and then even if I do send the message, hey, don't mind me, you're super cute, excited to get to know you, that is 100% genuine. I've achieved my goal of engaging with those profiles, and I have no alternative motive. I'm not doing it to sell her something. I'm doing it to engage with her. I have this new follower. The other part, and I think about this too, is, unfortunately and fortunately, it's a double-edged sword. It's just more common. A lot of online businesses are through Instagram, so people are a little bit more on edge when we start kind of asking them a lot of questions, and they might start to think, what's this girl trying to sell me? And we know we're not doing that, but that doesn't stop the public from getting harassed from other people. But I think about the analogy, and ladies, I think you'll understand this one. We've all been there. You're at the bar with your friends, and you go up to get a drink, and you're standing at the bar, and there's this guy like kind of next to you, and he's like doing a couple like double takes, and you order your drink, you get your drink, and then he looks at you and he goes, so what you drinking? And you know, in that moment, you're like, you don't care what I'm drinking. You're only asking this question so that you can start a conversation with me so you can get my number. We both know it's uncomfortable for everyone. I know there's an alternative motive here. I'm on edge. Let's just not do this, right? And I think sometimes that's what's happening on the other end of the screen when we start asking all these questions and she's like, where are you going with this? Why are you so interested in me? I'm confused. So personally, I have found that just kind of ending it with just engaging with her profile leaves a better feeling for both of us, honestly. And if you are sitting behind the screen right now and you're like, Jackie, no way, I love to know those things. Girl, yes. If you genuinely want to know all the questions you're asking and that is what drives you in this, please keep doing it. Absolutely. But I'm really talking to the girl that feels uncomfortable doing that because I know it always felt weird to me. I was like, I know I'm just asking you what your dog's name is because I think that's what I'm supposed to do, right? So be really genuine in your conversation with her, okay? Now, once all that's happened, now we move to the invite. And I will tell you right now, again, there's no strategy towards when to send the invite, how many times you have to engage with their profile first, any of that. You have to do what feels right for you, okay? If you want to invite her that same day, invite her that same day. If you want to wait a day, or if your challenge group isn't starting for a couple weeks, maybe you just engage more. Do you. Honestly, I can't give you a good answer there, okay? Because if I give you a script or I give you a mathematical equation, I'm setting you up for failure because then you're not adaptable. You're not fluid. You're not reading the situation. That's what you have to learn. You have to get good at learning how to read the situation in front of you and be a responsible business owner for knowing when you need to start inviting people, okay? But when it does come to the invite, this is another time where I will say work smarter, not harder. And actually that even applies to the Hey Girl stuff, right? If you're spending all of this time trying to engage with people, I spend about 1 minute per profile. So in 10 minutes, I can engage with 10 people, whether those are new people or current followers. So now in my 20 minutes, I've followed 40 people and I'm engaged with 10 of them. What have you done in 20 minutes, right? Like what's your pace here? So we're working smarter. Now, okay, we're gonna move to the invites. Here's the thing that I've heard with invites from multiple coaches, and I've seen this, through the years, is because, double-edged sword, because we are such a just generous, heart-driven, loving, giving team. We are a bomb-ass group of girls, okay? What sometimes happens with that though is we want so badly, the girls that we're connected to and the girls that we're following, we want so badly for them to experience this with us because we know how life-changing it will be for them, that we ultimately try and personalize the experience for them before we even know why they want to be in this. So we spend all of this time trying to craft the perfect invite and explain to her exactly why she would love this. And we haven't even asked her why she would love this. And we assume that because she's in our niche, that she's gonna wanna join because we joined. But here's the thing, Keisha and I, we're best friends. We are definitely in the same niche. We joined for 2 very different reasons, right? So if you know our stories, I didn't really explain that at the beginning, but she joined, she found a girl on Instagram and she wanted help staying accountable with P90X. I joined because it was my best friend and it sounded fun. 2 very different reasons, right? And if I got invited in the way that Keisha did, I probably would have said no. And if Keisha got invited in the way I did, she probably would have said no, even though we're in the same niche. So don't personalize it for them. Make your invite niche, but open-ended as well. So kind of an example here that I think is helpful is I just recently talked to somebody about this. So if you're a coach and you see you're following a girl on Instagram and she had a baby and you see that she just got cleared to work out and you send her this invite and you're like, hey mama, oh my gosh, congratulations on your baby. He's so cute. I just want to squeeze him. Don't know if this is up your alley, but I'm running a fitness group and there's actually a bunch of new moms joining and they're all super excited to lose the baby weight. So I thought it might be up your alley too. Let me know what you're like. Let me know if that sounds interesting. Obviously you'd handle it with a little bit more class because I think she might punch you in the face if you're trying to tell her she needs to lose her baby weight. But the point being is what happens now? You've personalized that and you've made the group specifically about weight loss, okay? Now she responds back to you and she's like, hey, that sounds great. But honestly, even though I would love to lose baby weight, I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I do not have time. Thank you, but no thank you. Well, now what do? You are now trying to backtrack and be like, oh, well, it's great for people who are tight on time and it's really going to help with your energy. But she's already decided the group's about weight loss, and that weight loss isn't enough of a reason for her to do it. But what if we send the invite and we say, hey, mama, I'm so excited for you. I saw that you had a baby. Congratulations. He's so cute, blah, 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 all the things. I'm running a fitness group with women all over the country, and we actually have a ton of new moms joining that you would definitely vibe with. Does something like that sound up your alley? We've still niched it. We've put the pieces together that there's a new mom and that she would vibe with them, but it's up to her to tell us what she's looking for. So now she responds and she says, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thanks for thinking of me. I've definitely been thinking about wanting to lose the baby weight, but I'm so exhausted and tired. I just don't think I have time. Now we can say, oh, I totally get it, girl. I'm not a mom, but I can't imagine what you guys go through. I see how busy my new mom friends are. And I will tell you what these moms in the groups are finding is because we have workouts as short as 20 minutes, they're able to knock them out quickly when their babies are sleeping, or they can put on a movie for their toddler. Or if something happens, because everything's done at home, if the baby starts crying or anything like that, you can pause the workout, attend to your priorities, and then come back and finish it later that day. And what they're finding is that while they are losing the baby weight, even if the workout's broken up, they're actually getting more energy throughout the day because these workouts are boosting their endorphins, it's boosting their energy, it's helping reduce stress, and it's helping them a lot. Knowing that, does that sound more up your alley? Right? So we all got to the same outcome, but which scenario is going to be more up her alley and really paint the picture for her and why she's interested? Okay. So when I think about when I invite, 9 out of 10 times, it's going to sound something like this. Hey, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I know it's so random that I'm sending you a voice message, but I've loved following you. I love your vibe. You totally seem like someone I've been friends with in real life. And I wanted to reach out to you. My best girlfriend and I actually run these online fitness accountability groups for women all over the country. And they're really catered towards the busy girl with a lot on her plate that still wants to embrace a healthy lifestyle. Does that sound like something you'd be into? That is personalized and that is niche, but I don't know if her driver is going to be time, fitness, nutrition, accountability, convenience, cost. I mean, all of these different things can tie into the busy girl with a lot on her plate that still wants to embrace a healthy lifestyle. So that's how we can do more invites in less time. I'm not having to sit there and try and figure out why each one of my girls might be interested. I can send 5 invites in 5 minutes because it takes me 1 minute to say what I just said, sometimes less, right? So if you're spending 5 minutes per invite, it's going to take you 25 minutes to do those 5 invites because you're spending so much time trying to personalize it. So now you've worked on your business for 3.5 hours just trying to follow people and send invites. And I think at this point, I'm sitting at a half hour, right? We're doing the same amount of work. Maybe I'm just doing it a little bit faster because it's a little bit more strategic, which is where I want to just kind of keep reiterating this. We so often we get mad at the process and we feel like the process isn't working for us and we get frustrated. But when we think about every single one of us on this call, some of us, we're all doing the same things, right? We're all proof of the product, then we're sharing our stories on Instagram, and then we're building our following, and then we're inviting girls to join, and then we're getting them in challenge groups, and then they sign up as coaches, and then they become rock stars. We're all doing those same things. But why it's working for some and not for others is the people it's working for are they're putting all of the pieces together and they're doing it in strategic, smart ways versus feeling like you're kind of floundering because you're not finessing all of the moving parts and seeing how they connect together and and just not being as strategic with your time. So you can do a lot more with this business than you probably even realize in half the amount of time. And it happens with practice, like Cassie just said. It's going to happen over time. And some things that are going to help with your invite too. Couple tips here. When somebody responds to your invite, oh my gosh, tell me more. I know it is in every fiber and cell and everything in our bodies that we want to just tell them it all. We want to give them everything, why we love it, about the fitness, about the nutrition, about the accountability, all the things. And then they're like, whoa, okay, I'm going to gracefully bow out of this one. Okay, so what I would recommend is a couple things, and this is where it will come with practice. But think of it as 3 pillars. Your invite has 3 pillars to it. We have fitness, we have nutrition, and we have accountability, okay? When we send that initial kind of broad spectrum invite, and she says, tell me more, I want you to just respond back to seek information and say something like, hey, I'm so excited that you're interested. I definitely thought it'd be up your alley. I'd love to learn a little bit more about you. Tell me about your current fitness habits and routines, what's working and what's not, okay? And she's gonna give you so much more in that response. You're gonna know her routines, her struggles, her situation, her stage of life, what she's concerned about, what she's pumped about, all of these different things. You're gonna learn that, and now we get to personalize the experience. But as we're personalizing it, once she gives us her reason, figure out what kind of the main theme is. Is the main theme nutrition? Is the main theme fitness? Or community, accountability, and focus on that pillar, right? We have to be really exclusively focused on a pillar because we understand how this all works together, but we've been in it, we've done it, we've been in challenge groups. These are strangers that we have to think they know nothing about this. So we have to walk them through every pillar. And if you try and do them all at once, what happens to your building when all 3 pillars? It collapses, okay? Just like the conversation will. So if it's fitness, start asking her more specifically about fitness. What types of workouts does she usually like? What has she tried in the past? Has she done at-home workouts? Why does she think this might work for her? And as we're asking her those questions, we can start to paint the picture for her. Okay, she really likes HIIT, cardio, and weights. Girl, let me tell you, while we do have a little bit of everything, Pilates, yoga, dance, cardio, weights, bar, all of these different things, we definitely have multiple programs, some that are exclusively HIIT, some that are exclusively weightlifting, and some that combine the two. Do you think that would work, right? And everything we're doing, we're helping her see, this is what you want or what you like, here's how we definitely have a solution for it. And once we've wrapped up fitness, now we can ask, okay, nutrition is also a big part of what we do. Tell me about your nutrition habits. Do you eat healthy? Would you like to eat healthier? Do you cook for a family? We have to learn more specifically about nutrition. And then once that conversation's done, we talk about accountability and the challenge group and all of the reasons why that works. And now we can really fill out and build that foundation of the conversation so that when we're getting objections and when we get to the cost conversation, we have all these pillars to lean on and to say, hey, I know you seem busy, but this is why this will work for you. I know that meal prep might be hard, but you told me that you have goals and I want to help you feel confident for your wedding, right? Like we can start to plug in the reasons why I'm not going to let you back out with an objection because I know all of the pillars. We've talked through them all really in depth kind of thing. Okay, so we can spend time on the invite. And when I was first getting ready for this call, I was originally going to pull up some screenshots for you guys, but I thought about it and I was like, the thing is, at the end of the day, what we have to get really comfortable with is we're human beings having conversations with other human beings. And think about how insane it would be. So I used to be a recruiter before I did this full time. And if I ever went to a networking event and I called up my boss and I was like, hey boss, going to this networking event, just curious, after I walk in the room and I make eye contact with everyone, how long do I wait before I walk up and say hi? And once I say hi, then what do I say? And she's like, I don't know, tell her you like her outfit or something. Okay. And then after I tell her I like her outfit, I want to ask if she wants to like sit with me for dinner. How long after I tell her I like her outfit do I ask her to sit with me? I don't know, like right away, whatever you want to do, whatever feels normal in that conversation. What if she says no? Ask somebody else. Okay. Then you ask somebody else and that person says yes. And then you have to call your boss again and you're like, well, there's a second course. How long do I wait before I go back and ask the other person, follow up and see if they want to sit with me the second time? Like, I would get fired. My boss would have been like, girl, get out of here. Right? Like we have to think about this. Yes, we're behind a screen, but it's a conversation. So I don't want to give you scripts and perfect things. What I want you guys to do is level up the volume that you're doing so you can practice and you can pay attention to what's working, what's not. Is there a typical part in the conversation people are ghosting you? Are there parts of conversations you feel awkward about? That's where we can help. When you have a scenario and you're like, hey, not really sure where to go with this one, absolutely, that's what we're here for. If we have more practice, we've probably seen it before. But you're never going to get there if you don't put yourself out there and experience conversations. I'm thinking about dating too. Before I met Andy, I was the most awkward dater. The very first date I went on, so I dated a guy for like 4.5 years, went on a first date. That first date was so awful because I hadn't been on a date in like 4 years. I didn't know what I was doing. I was terrified. But after like you date a couple people, you get used to the first date system and they don't get scary anymore. And you learn how to handle yourself on a date, right? And then you end up in a relationship. That's what this is. So I wish I could just hand you all the tools to be like the perfect conversationalist, but I was terrible about it. Keisha was terrible about it. Every single one of these coaches that are successful, and success is obviously a relative term, but the girls that you look up to were terrible at it, but we kept doing it and we kept experimenting and trying more things and asking better questions and slowing it down and figuring out, okay, I'm talking too much, or I'm not asking enough questions, or, ooh, I should have learned more about her. And then we take those tools and we bring them to the next conversation and we bring them to the next conversation. But if you're only doing like one invite a week, it's going to take you so long to get over the awkward stage. And I'm still in the awkward stage. That's the thing. You never truly get over it. Just the other day, I had a girl where she was like telling me about how busy she was. And then I thought the right thing to do was to send her like 5 minutes worth of voice messages. I owned that. I literally messaged her like a couple days later and was like, hey, how ironic. You said you were super busy and I thought sending you 5 minutes of voice messages was the solution. Let's slow it down. Tell me more about this. And I just asked her a question and now we're still chatting. We can own where we learn, right? But so that's just, again, 5 years in and I'm still pulling stuff like that. But the point is working smarter, not harder. Part of working smarter is getting good faster. Don't keep just stubbing your toe over and over and over again. Build up some muscle, build up some calluses. I don't even know what's on your toe. Build up that strength so that you feel more comfortable going into those conversations, okay? Now, a couple last things I want to talk about are, I want to talk about follow-ups for sure, because here's the thing. Again, with the invites, we sometimes, not anymore me, but some people, they get so frustrated when they're like, I cannot get anyone to sign up. Why? Well, how many invites did you send out? 5? You sent out 5 invites and you thought 5 people were going to sign up? No. Okay, so here's the thing, and this isn't meant to be discouraging, and if you're a brand new coach month 1, yes, you're going to get people the same month you start to sign up. That should be normal. But once you've been here a time or two, it's not the people that month you're asking that are the same people signing up. And I will tell you, I just took a look at this. The last 15 people I've signed up, not a single one of them signed up in the month I asked them about it. Every single one were follow-ups and retouch bases, or them coming back and the time was right. And that's not meant to scare you. That's meant to say F yes to the follow-ups, right? Hell yeah to the no's. Hell yeah to the ghosters, because that gives you so many more people to go back and engage with, and wait until they're ready. And the best feeling in the world is when the girl that said no like 100 times comes through at like 8:45 on the last day of the month, and you're like, I'm so glad you didn't sign up like 6 months ago because you just saved Success Club 10 for me, right? Like that's just the best. But everyone eventually comes through. That's, if you stay here long enough, people eventually come through. I have a girl right now in my challenge group who the very first time I invited her was in 2014, okay? This is commitment, but it's awesome. And she's so freaking pumped, and she signed up when the time was right for her, okay? So with follow-ups though, just don't get discouraged if people say no. It's not your business to decide when they're ready. It's not your business when it's their turn to get healthy and confident. That's their decision. You are just here as a tool and a resource and a support system for them. So don't get all mad at them because they aren't helping you hit your goals, okay? But 3 types of follow-ups that I typically use. 1, the girl that does just ghost in the middle of the conversation, which a couple things on ghosting. Let's just remember we all forget to text our own parents back. I don't think the random girl on Instagram should have like a higher bar than us texting our parents, okay? But point being, if she ghosts, what I will do is I will send a voice message, whether it's 24 hours, 5 days, a weekend later, just depends on what makes sense for my challenge group. Hey, gorgeous, hope you had a good weekend. I know we were chatting about the group last week. No rush or anything like that, but just wanted to circle back and see if you were still interested in chatting about the details. And then here's the key little secret ingredient. What I will say is I have a spot saved for you, but if it's not gonna be a good time, let me know and I'm gonna give it to someone else. Because no one wants to be the asshole that just, takes up a spot and doesn't use it. So at least typically more times than not, they will respond. And that's like a fun one to use. But sometimes they don't, and that's okay. I don't blame them. I know people get busy, and I know that I'm gonna be here a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, and I'll be here when they're ready. Now, the other girl who says, hey, this sounds great. You're so sweet. Thanks. It's just not a good time. We're right in the middle of moving, or I'm traveling or whatever. And she's just not right now. Totally fine. A few months later, maybe I follow up with her. Hey girl, how was the vacay? It looked super fun. I was totally stalking your pics. Just wanted to circle back and let you know, and then here's another unique one. Let you know we have a couple fun groups coming up for the summer. Wanted to loop you in and see if any of them might be up your alley. Why I do that is because I don't want to put a time constraint on, hey, we have a group starting on Monday if you want in. And she's like, well, shit, Monday's not a good time, so no. But if we leave it kind of open, hey, we have a couple groups coming up this summer, a couple fun things. Let me know if you're interested. Now we can start the conversation. Of course, I know I'm going to talk to her about the most upcoming one, but it really takes off this pressure of you need to sign up now, right? It's more casual, it's more friendly, it's more conversational, okay? And that's not meant to be like trickery or salesy or anything like that. It's just, again, it's human. I'm not here to tell people when they need to get going. I'm here to just keep people informed on what I got going on. And then the last one is the girl that was just a hard no out the gate. She comes back and she's like, hey, this sounds awesome. Thank you. I really love my CrossFit gym. I'm not interested, but like ready to cheer you on from afar. Cool, that sounds great. Maybe 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, because yes, I lose track of people too. I come back and I will say, hey, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been 6 months or a year, whatever, 2 years, time flies. Looks like you got married, or looks like this happened, or whatever, XYZ, fill in the last like year. Wanted to circle back. I know last we chatted, these groups were not your thing, and I just wanted to see like how you were doing. I'm sure you're still rocking out CrossFit, but I also know a lot can change in a year. So want to just loop you in. I'm still doing groups. The doors are always open if you're interested. Those people love that because things do change. Think about where you were a year ago, right? Like things change. So don't count someone out just because they're a hard no right from the get-go. A year later, they might not be. So those are kind of 3 things with follow-ups, okay? Now, a couple last things I want to end, and I'm going to try and close this out in 5 minutes because I do want to be respectful of your time. But here's the thing. I obviously have a lot of confidence in what I'm doing here. And it's not out of anything special other than I have so much confidence in what we do, the products we have, and the services that we offer. And it is because I am proof of that. I am proof of the product. It's vital behavior number 1. And the thing is, you guys, is it will never work for you if you are not using the products, following the workouts, and doing what we represent. Because there's a big, big difference in having textbook knowledge of something and authentic emotional experience about something. Perfect example. This one I don't think is going to go over well, just because I don't know anything about what I'm about to say. But let's say you're thinking about playing football, and you come up to me, and I'm standing next to Russell Wilson, who is the Seahawks quarterback. And I'm like, yeah, you should play football because there's probably nothing better than standing on the 10-yard line and throwing like the winning pass into the end zone. If that's a thing, yeah, you should do it. Versus you talk to the NFL professional quarterback, I think he's like the top paid quarterback in the league, and he's like, let me tell you, and I don't know why he talks like that, but about the emotion and the hype and the chills and all of the things that he got when he was standing on that 10-yard line and he threw that winning pass and all these things. It's like he could speak. You'd be like, I have chills just thinking about it. It's like, who are you going to go with? The textbook knowledge or the I've been there, done that, let me talk to you about it knowledge, right? There's nothing that drives me more crazy than when a girl says, ugh, I haven't had a friend buy a challenge pack from me and I keep talking to them about it and they won't buy a challenge pack. And I'm like, honey, you have not ordered Shakeology in 5 months. So your friends aren't going to be buying what you aren't drinking. I'm sorry, right? And that's not meant to sound rude. I know everyone has their own situations. And obviously if you can't drink Shakeology, that's not directed at you. But you can't fake this stuff. You can't fake the excitement or the hype or the emotional authenticity that you have about these products. And even to take it a step further, not a lot of my like close girlfriends do Beachbody or anything like that, but a lot of my girlfriends drink Energize on HD. A lot. Because you best believe anytime we're together in the morning, I'm like, let's drink Energize. If we're going to go out to the bar, I'm like, let's drink some Energize. Right? We do it all the time. And so these girls are like, this stuff is bomb and it's way cheaper than my coffee. So that it's that hype that I can provide them with Energize, none of them would be drinking it if I didn't have an actual, true, passionate love, deep love for Energize, right? I mean, I was drinking it back when it was E&E still. So you have to have that authentic like story to it, okay? So the reason I say that is because your Instagram, You're the stories you share. You cannot fake stuff on Instagram stories. You can't talk about the workouts you do if you don't have a clip to share if you're not doing the workouts. You can't show your Shakeology on Instagram if you're not drinking Shakeology. You can't talk about the book you're reading if you're not reading a book. You can't talk about the coffee shops you go to if you don't go to the coffee shops, right? You can't fake these things. So if you want to present yourself a certain way, you better be showing up a certain way and living that actual life. You cannot fake it, okay? So that's step one. Remember, we have our storefront. You cannot authentically and passionately invite and have an unwavering confidence in what we have to offer if you don't believe in it yourself. If someone tried to tell me, oh, I'm not gonna be part of what you have, that's a pyramid scheme, I'd be like, that's like calling me a drug dealer because those things are illegal, right? Like, no. So I have unwavering, unshakable confidence in what network marketing is. I have unwavering confidence that at-home programs work. And if somebody said at-home programs don't work, really? Have you tried? Well, yeah. What'd you try? YouTube. Okay, that didn't work. Have you tried what I got? Because this stuff freaking works. And I bring that energy to the conversation. I don't care who you are, right? Like, I will bring that passion and I will not let people shake me. And if it's not their thing, that's fine. But I'm so passionate about it because I'm confident in it. And this only comes with time. So keep showing up. And the last thing I say, I normally end my calls, you guys, with a little bit of kind of what's the alternative. You are here for a reason. You have joined this community. You have decided to take your fitness journey to the next level and you want to help empower women. And there's a lot you're probably hoping to get out of the coaching opportunity, whether that's fulfillment, impact, income, freedom, choices, all of these different things, tribe. You're not going to get them anywhere else, not in the way you're looking for them. Maybe you can find fulfillment somewhere else, but it's not going to come with freedom and income. Maybe you can find income somewhere else, but it's not going to come with fulfillment or this tribe, right? So if you throw in the towel and you quit, you're throwing away all of the things that you're here for, and you're throwing away any opportunity you have to eventually get it. So what's the alternative? You might as well stick it out. But here's the thing. Here's the kind of twist on it this time. We are also human. And we can only be let down and disappointed and hurt and all of these things and feeling like we're losing so many times before we throw in the towel and we don't feel it's worth it, which is why I feel so strongly about working smarter and not harder. I want you to have these wins. I want you to feel forward momentum and successful. And I want you to have little deposits of confidence every single time you work on your business. And I don't want you to feel like you have to spend 6 hours a day because it's taking you so long to do everything. You can knock out. We know now you can follow 40 new people in 10 minutes. You can engage with 10 of your leads or 10 of your followers in 10 minutes. You can send 5 invites in 5 minutes. You can do these things quick, and now you know how. So go out there, take these tools. I want to see every single one of you on this call 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and I do not want to see another coach who has so much potential and so much excitement and so much just joy for this walk away because they are frustrated with the process. We can make the process simpler and easier. You just have to work smarter. So I hope this helped. I will stay on for like a couple extra seconds in case people have questions, but thank you guys for being on. I apologize for going a minute over. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording. Love you guys.